Okay, so the last UFC pay-per-view, when Frank Mir took on Shane Carwin, I might say Carwin every now and then. Again, forgive me. I haven't watched a lot of his matches, so I've only really seen him fight Frank Mir, even though I probably could have watched all of his matches in about a half an hour. Mir looked almost unbeatable after the Nogueira fight. Then he had a loss to Lesnar. And you can tell he really wanted to go back to fighting Lesnar again. Then he took on Shane. That fire that he had took on Nogueira just didn't seem to be there. There's lots of just clinching, really didn't throw a solid combination. It looks like Shane got him with a really good uppercut in the clinch, then another one, then Frank crumpled, then he just began to rapidly pound the crap out of Frank. Frank looked almost defenseless that whole time, and then he seemed like laying on the ground, trying to duck his head down to get those, behind the head punches like he got in the first Lesnar fight, to get a stand-up. Nothing. And now Shane is the interim champion. Now he's going to take on Lesnar, because now Lesnar's finally healthy again. So, I had to do some light research on these two. Okay, for Lesnar, 1999 NCAA Division I runner-up for collegiate wrestling. 2000, he was a champion. So you got somebody who's got, again, this is Lesnar. So you got somebody who's got an NCAA Division I championship and a runner-up. Okay, fights with 4XL gloves. Essentially, Lesnar's game currently, because the last time we saw him fight, there's a lot of power, not a lot in the way of technique. Lots of people don't like Shane Carwin, primarily because of one thing. He's a part-time fighter. But the guy's got a sick amount of power. Not a lot of refinement to his skills. But the guy is just, he is a finisher. Lesnar can finish a fight, but Carwin's an undefeated finisher. Carwin's NCAA background. Division II runner-up, 96, 97. Division II heavyweight champion for wrestling. So you've got a 99 Division I runner-up, a 2000 champion. A 96, 97 runner-up, 99 champion. And they both wear the exact same size gloves. Currently, at UFC 116, these two guys are going to have what's either going to be probably Lesnar's biggest challenge to date, because Carwin doesn't go more than 4 minutes. And the bit that I've seen, Lesnar has taken a couple of shots, but nothing that's really seemed to have troubled him from a boxing standpoint. Yeah, he lost to a knee bar. Understandable. He didn't know how to get out of it, and he was in it, so he tapped. Which is what you should do if you're caught in a move and you don't know how to get out of it. And same with Carwin. Haven't really seen him take, a good combination. Hasn't seen anything solid. So you got two guys who have a sick amount of power and a really, for the most part, good offensive game. But really don't know if they've got, the overall, can they take a beating? We've seen Lesnar take a couple of good shots, and we've seen him get rocked. He got rocked in the Couture fight, wasn't enough to really, but Randy didn't follow up with it, so we don't really know exactly how strong of a chin Lesnar's got. Same with Carwin. A lot of Carwin's fights have been him essentially stalking his prey, getting a couple of good shots, seeing the guy is injured like a shark smelling blood, finishes the guy. Lesnar, not so much. Lesnar, he's got some decent stand-up. We've seen him be able to beat somebody like Randy, essentially with a couple good shots to the face. And then just pound on him and finish him. It's going to come down to, this is Lesnar's first fight since he's had, the severe intestinal problems. And Carwin is just on an absolute just tear. He is currently 12-0. And I'm looking at his record right now. Knockout punches, TKO punches, knockout punches, TKO punch, submission, guillotine, TKO punch, submission, rear naked choke, TKO punches, submission, rear naked choke, submission, guillotine, submission, punches. That's That is absolutely disgusting. Then look at Lesnar's. You know, and Lesnar essentially, he's only really had 2 matches that didn't go the distance. TKO, strikes. TKO, strikes. Decision, unanimous. Then his loss. Then his submission, strikes. So, when you look at Carwin actually has done some submission. And the only thing we've seen from Lesnar is just punching. So you got 2 guys who are absolutely freaking huge. Lesnar, 6'4", you know, he weighs in at 265, but he's closer to like 280, 290, I'm well aware of these things. And you've got Carwin, who is rated at 6'2", 265. So Lesnar has got a little bit of a size advantage. I think the reach is the same. You're looking at very similar reaches. So you've got Lesnar, who's got a little bit of size, you know, about 2 inches in height on him, 1 inch in reach, and probably weighs about 20 pounds. So you're going to see 2 just massive guys who are both slightly unrefined. They are, however, going to be the future of the heavyweight division, because these 2 guys are going to wail the crap out of each other. Who am I pulling for? You know, I primarily watch UFC for Lesnar's fights. I'm a WWE guy. I thought Lesnar left too soon before he could have made a ton of money. I do like seeing him in UFC. Do I think he's going to win? I think this is going to be by far his biggest challenge to date. It's Lesnar taking down a guy who's just like Lesnar. But this guy, you can tell he doesn't get paid by the hour. He goes out there, zeroes in on his opponent, and whoops the crap out of him. Lesnar, he looked more reserved after he lost to Mir. This fight might actually go to the end of the first round. But these 2 guys are going to wail the crap out of each other. I don't picture this being, you know, like they're on the mat and it's just back and forth, holds for hold. I picture there being like clinches, lots of stand up. You know, the first person to probably do a takedown and get a top mount is probably going to just wail the crap out of the other guy. I don't picture there being anything technical at all in this fight. This is going to be almost like watching 2 boxers in a cage with the ability to do takedowns. I don't imagine seeing any sort of, you know, attempts for a rear naked choke or a guillotine. You know, I don't see there being any submission holds in this. This is going to be, I'm calling it a strike fest. And you know what? I think it's going to be good. It's going to be entertaining. And currently I'm pulling for Lesnar. So now, having said that, let all the angry comments begin. Again, not a huge MMA buff, not a huge UFC buff, but I do enjoy seeing Lesnar fight. Whether you enjoy seeing him get in the cage and lose, you know, people want to see Lesnar in the cage. Either getting the crap beat out of him or beating the crap out of somebody.